Greetings, this is Jim Phillips with Remember Veteran Grave Markers. I'm calling this episode Remembering Our Heritage. Now, Remember Veteran Grave Markers is not about cleaning veteran graves. It's just not about that. What we are about is remembering veterans. We remember veterans because we spend time with veterans, particularly those who are in graveyards or in cemeteries around the country. Remember Veteran Grave Markers focuses on Lucas County, Ohio, and the graves of fallen there. So it is important. Now, this episode is focused on sort of the heritage and remembrance and such. When I started Remember Veteran Grave Markers last year, it was more out of a need that I saw for helping out, doing something. But as I've done more cleaning graves, markers, headstones, and such, I've found a deeper interest in my own military heritage. Now, as you can see, I'm a Navy veteran. But what you'll also see shortly is that I come from a long line of veterans. Now, I did not know this, except for my father, who I did know. But I did not know that I had relatives, grandfathers on both sides of the Civil War, on the Confederate side and on the Union side. I also know that I had a grandfather who served in the War of 1812. I also discovered that I have several grandfathers who served in the Revolutionary War. Now, why is this important? It is important because it adds flavor to the experience of Remember Veteran Grave Markers, but also anybody who is interested in taking care of veterans, particularly in dealing with headstones and grave markers. Why is that? Because you now have a more intimate experience with the veteran. Because you are now linked to a veteran of that era, and you can in fact talk and remember and reflect, said, this was a family member. This is one of my people. This is what we did. And because of that, it creates for you an experience that is different than anybody else's. You only know this because you've done the research to find out if you in fact have family who served there. Now, as fortune would have it, I have had family in those experiences, and you'll see over here. And I think most Americans will in fact have that as well. As you go forward with working on veteran gravestones, as we hit Memorial Day pretty soon, remember that you have people in here as well. You have people that deserve remembering. You have distant relatives and ancestors that have done things to move the ball forward for the cause of freedom in the United States. You do. And the only way you know that is that you find out who they are. Now, my last name is Phillips. I did not know that I had a Covington, a Walters, a Zimmerla, a Bounds. I did not know that those were effectively relatives. And if I did, I didn't really put much thought to it. But as I dug deeper, I found out that through the Bounds line, I have Civil War veterans. Through the Covington line, I have a Revolutionary War veteran. Through the Walters line, I have a War of 1812 and Civil War veteran. These are all people that I just go, I did not know. But now, as the founder of Remember Veteran Grave Markers, I ask you to consider the same thing for yourself and your family. There are organizations that you should consider becoming a member of. They're genealogical organizations, but they're based on military heritage. For example, the sons or daughters of the American Revolution. the sons of Union veterans of Civil War, the sons of Confederate veterans, the Society of 1812. These were all noble organizations of genealogical significance. It deals with the heritage of your family. You should experience that. Let me say one last thing. I live in Toledo, Ohio now. Now I've traveled around the world, but I live in Toledo, Ohio now with my wife. And I did not know that I had a great number of relatives just south of Lucas County in Wood County. And some of those fought in the Civil War, like the ones I mentioned. I think that's just pretty darn cool to know that the place that I landed up at this time is probably 100 miles, north of where my ancestors lived. And I think that's pretty cool. Now I think I'm going to go visit them. And I think you should too. This is Jim Phillips with Remember Veteran Grave Markers. Remember your heritage. It's about remembering. Cleaning is just a means to be able to remember. Cleaning is not the goal. Remembering is the goal. God bless, take care, and have a peaceful Memorial Day, remembering your fallen as we remember all fallen. God bless. Please like, subscribe, and share. And you can find us on Facebook. Special thanks to the Prior of St. Clair of the Knights Templar. Their support and that of the other benefactors make all of this possible. God bless.